Hello guys, good afternoon. Big decisions to make. How's everyone's Friday going? I already took a hit. Let me know if you prefer this view or if you prefer, because people have said sometimes that it's a little bit too small with the chat and everything on, so I want to make sure everyone can see stuff. Like, so you can see I've just used the stuff from my video here, but if that's not the best way, then I can just go back to doing it this way. Whichever one lets you guys see it clearer, just let me know which one is easier for you guys, because I mean I can zoom in on this one like this. Which one is easier for you guys to see, like this from the website, or like this? Just a quick check before we get in to the questions and the hellos, just for you guys to see. So which one is better for you guys to see, this one or this one? I can flick. I'm going to be flicking between the two anyway, but as long as you guys can see it clearly before, because I will, I'll probably definitely cement in the transfer that I'm going to make, but I'm not going to click it until I've heard the press conferences. But I am 99% sure what I am going to do. So first, let's just go through the hellos and welcome back everyone on site. And how you doing? How you doing, and Sean? The early transfer Barnes to James, or James, has not worked out. I know, mate, that is just massively unfortunate. And that's why we're supposed to hold. That's why we advise to hold. That's why we hope we hold. But again, that's not a bad move in practice, but it's just unfortunate that that injury history for James has come back and already hit him. Hopefully just for one game though. Chris is hoping not to suffer from success this time, but actually be successful. That sounds like a bumper sticker quote. That game week 5, 64 -8. So me and Sean, we both did a -8, and I'm going to say that it paid off, and it paid off for one man and one captain. That is it, guys, isn't it? I mean, I brought in Bale, he got a point. I brought in Grealish, he got 3 points, and then Heung-min Son, 13 points with a captaincy to 26. Has absolutely saved me there. But I mean, I wanted him in, he was in on the hit. So, and always remember that if you try and break even on a hit, the players that you brought in, they're in for the future, right? So as long as you can try and break even, then it's not too bad, to be honest. So I got 73 points, which is quite good, -8, and 65, still just above the average, but I'm still knocking around 3.6 million, but that's about 500,000 places I went up. I've already made one transfer this week, which I'll show you guys in a moment, and I will be taking another hit, because I've said this in my video that I released a few days ago, that I feel that at the start of the season, I take a lot of hits, and I know I'm trying to shorten it, but I take a lot of hits at the start until I get the team that I'm happy with, and then I sort of ease off on it, but we'll see. You're down to 2.6, Sean, so I'm slowly catching you up there. Good 79 for Saiton, not bad. Good afternoon. Oh, I don't want to butcher your name, buddy. Nathukuko. Good afternoon, mate. Welcome. Arturo, welcome back, pal. Captaincy, Son, Sterling, or Salah. I'm going to go for neither. This one's really difficult, I think, this week, guys, because I think there's a lot of good captaincy options. A lot. And as long as you're not going mad and, like, captaining Chris Wood or something like that, like, if you're going for your big boys, they've all got good fixtures to bang. If you've got Salah or Mane, I know Mane's a little bit of a doubt, but, I mean, if you've got Salah or Mane, great options. Son, Kane, great options. Sterling, KDB, if he's fit, good options. But I will be going into what I'm going to be doing this game week, which is a huge, huge risk. Can I do a wildcard draft? We can talk about that one later on. We can have a look at some players. I did an explosive differentials. I actually convinced myself, guys. So for those of you that were in last week, the topic that I'd made a discussion point was explosive differentials, but ones that are world famous players, world class players, but with ridiculously low ownership that we were all pretty shocked at. And it's convinced me to do it. I was knocking around the 4 million mark. Yeah, I can still make it up. I'm not too worried about my overall rank at the moment, to be honest. But it just convinced me to go and play it my own way and have a good go and stick with my differentials. So, well, that again will come to my captaincy and my transfer for this week. Played Justin on Walker-Peters. I would probably say Justin on Walker-Peters. I would, now that James Rodriguez seems to be out injured, I'd probably go for Walker-Peters against Everton. But Arsenal, Leicester still have some injury issues. Arsenal haven't been exactly prolific up front. I think it's going to be really close, but I'd have to go Kyle Walker-Peters on that one. Got Grealish and Kane in for Costa and Ralph for -4. I think that's a really good move. Bad game week incoming. Got to play Barnes, Podence, and Antonio. Hey, Antonio, all the stats guys point to him being an absolute phenomenal player right now. And why not? And he's been doing it against really difficult opposition. Why can't he score against the likes of City and Liverpool? I think he can. Podence as well was apparently doing really well before he got, I think he got kicked in the face. It's one of the few games I didn't see. And Barnes, it doesn't matter if it's Harvey Barnes, it doesn't matter if it's Ashley Barnes. Yeah, it's not a good idea to be learning. Hey Neil, how's it going? Here we go. He's had Zaha like all season, is it now, Neil? And he has been amazing for you. What's my opinion about Pulisic 8.3 million? Is it better to switch someone cheaper instead? Okay, so D, what happened last week is I said that I didn't rate Pulisic as a lot of people think. And I said for me it's a massive wait and see. And I know it's ridiculous because I'm sat here with Gareth Bale in my team, alright? Okay, I know the hypocrisy. I'm not claiming I'm not a hypocrite. But what I am claiming is that Pulisic has had a long injury. He's going to play at the right side. And there are so many players like when Gareth Bale is fit, when he gets his minutes and when he's ready, he's in that starting 11. Pulisic has got like 5 class players to go against. So I think when he plays, he can be a really good player. I thought he was a little bit overrated by the community. It's one of them why, for example, why I didn't go for Podence at Wolves. It felt like the community just jumped on him as like the next big thing. And I was like, nah, not for me. Hey, FPL Magicians, how you doing? Welcome into the stream. Is this a strong midfield? Kai Havertz, Heung-min Son, Aubameyang. I feel he's going to do Aubameyang. Trossard and James. Yes, that's a very good midfield. I wouldn't gonna, no, take out Aubameyang. But do it your own way, Henry. Go. But the thing is, Aubameyang isn't a differential anymore. Or he's going to be. He's 16.9%, so he's okay, but he's not an explosive differential. Arsenal going to trash Leicester. Thrash Leicester, trash them. Bold, Henry, bold. Real shame James is out for Southampton, could have seen him tearing apart. I could have also seen that, Sean, and I'm glad because I don't have him in my team. Is Antonio to Watkins worth a transfer? In my opinion, no. Watkins has got all of his points in that Liverpool hat-trick, and I know Antonio's got 2 real tough fixtures, but you can't tell me that there's not a possibility he could score against City and Liverpool. And after those 2 games, the West Ham fixtures just spin on its head, and everyone's going to be getting in Antonio. Everyone. Best to still start James Rodriguez in just in case. Carlo hasn't ruled him out for this game week. He did say he's rather. Apparently, there's another press conference that's going to be coming for Everton. So again, this is why. When I come onto my team for this week, this is why that I haven't made my second transfer yet. I'll be taking another hit. My -8 gave me confidence because it was still a really good score. I was above the average and things like that, so it did work out, and it's given me the confidence to go out and take another hit because I really just want to get the team that I want. But we'll come to that in a minute. Neil, appreciates that last week. Glad to join the hype train. I still would not recommend bringing him in. But yeah, I thought Carlo did rule him out. Yeah, I'd probably just play him because I don't think he'd come on. I think if he's out, and your bench will come on afterwards. On Mitrovic is becoming so frustrating. Had it since the start. Your views, my views. I just don't think Mitrovic is a good option. If I'm honest, they all go for that. You close Mitrovic down and he's done. And just Fulham, nah, not a chance. That's it. Hasn't Paddy Power already paid out on the relegation? controversial thought from Sean. He's trying to deflect attention away from Pickford. No, I don't think he'd do that. You have Mitchell and you keep him for 3 weeks. Just for fun, just not doing it. Reece James is also very risky to use since Aspilicueta is captain and with Lampard you never know. Yeah, he came on for like the last 2 minutes, right, D? So he's on my bench. He's 5 million is on my bench, which I'm not happy about. And again, that could be another hit next week, guys. It just depends how this week goes. But if nothing else goes to plan, I think Reece James will just be out of my team for my free transfer next week. We'll have to wait and see. Captain Song is in such good form. Yeah, we're going to talk about this week very soon. Just going to catch up on this. Hey, Denver, how you doing? Good morning. It's 1 o'clock? Yeah, 1 o'clock in South Africa. Do you sell J-Rod or bench him? Already have Son, Kane, Salah, Bruno, DCL, Bamford. Need your advice. I think you're absolutely solid, mate. If you can think of who's on your bench that can come in for just 1 week for J-Rod. J. Rodriguez, it used to be J-Rod for the Burnley. You obviously mean James Rodriguez or James Rodriguez. If it depends who the bench player is, but it sounds like it's for 1 week. I wouldn't sell for 1 week. But captains, yeah, we'll come to that soon. Please bench 2 out of Dallas going to Villa, Ben Chilwell going to United, Antonio and Brewster. I'd bench Brewster to Liverpool because I don't know if he'll start, and I'll bench Dallas. I played Chilwell because he's an expensive defender. If you're paying that much for a defender, he should be playing every week. And Antonio, I think he can score against anyone. I really do, like Danny Ings. Kilman first on your bench. Yep. And I think he'll keep it for this game week. Hey, James, how you doing, bud? Salah at home, easy captain. I do agree. Nenif, welcome. Love from Sydney. That's actually not as far from me, that one. McCarthy to Matani is for free. James, yes, only if you've got nothing else to do, to be honest. I mean, that's... I don't want to say a luxury transfer, and people say don't change your goalkeepers because... But no, Martinez has got a fantastic run of fixtures, right? So I'm not against that move at all. But if you're looking at your other 10 players and you don't want to do 2 transfers or something next week, James, or like a mini wildcard of 3 transfers, I don't know if I'd do it. You want another goal first week? I want another goal first week. You're going to be... Yeah, now, all the ones that are saying Captain Salah, I'm 100%, I would probably say he is possibly the best captaincy option for this week. It's Mo Salah. He's one of the best players in FPL. He's lethal at home. And I know Sheffield United have been poor. I just don't see them battered. And this is something that puts me off Heung-min Son being my captain. Because, yeah, Burnley and Sheffield United are not doing very well right now. They've never been teams that score a lot of goals. But can you see Sheffield United with their defence from last year, and the same for Burnley for previous years? Can you see these guys getting thumped 4-5-0? I don't think I can. They are sit-back defensive teams and used to be very good at it. So I do think he's a great captaincy option. I think he'll at least get 1 return. What do I think of Matty Cash? I think he's at 5 million. I think he's too expensive. You've got Kyle Walker-Peters and Kilman on the bench. Yeah, so for 1 week, granted, it's not ideal. It's not ideal, obviously, to miss a 8 million midfielder for 1 game. But Kyle Walker-Peters against Everton, not great. But Kilman, Wolves are up against Newcastle. I don't think that's a terrible one to have a Wolves defender in. You need one of these 3 to play. Mitchell against Fulham, Basuma against West Brom, Walker-Peters against Everton with no James and no Lewin. Well, Basuma will play against West Brom, but I wouldn't be... And Walker-Peters will play, definitely, but I can't see massive returns from Basuma, you know. Hey, how you doing, Jason? You got Kane and Son loving the points, all but worried. Drying up fixtures, get tougher for game week 9. At what point do you make the swap? Go early or hold based on previous form? In that case, if you wanted, I'd probably try and go into game week 9 with 2 free transfers. So then you can do 2 free transfers or take 3 transfers for a hit. That's, again, a reason why I'll come onto my team and I'll tell you some of my plans as to why I didn't go for Harry Kane and go for the Kane-Son double up. And why I went for Bale as well in the first place. All about placeholders. It's not a year for clean sheets. Completely agree, Sean. 8-point hit for Trent, Fernandez, and Jimenez to Dallas, Salah, and Kane. I cannot recommend Tate, and I know he's not been that good since Project Restart, and I know this, and I know whatever people say, but I can't take Trent out. I can't advise taking players like Trent or Jimenez out for a hit when they could always deliver. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like people, I didn't have sympathy when people took Salah out for a hit last season when they thumped Brighton. I just can't see it. Trent has got 2 home games against Sheffield United and West Ham. There's definite potential there. Jimenez is about to play Newcastle at home. There's definite potential there. Matt doesn't see Sheffield United getting pumped either. Maybe it's biased last year, still don't see it. And they're going to go and they're going to frustrate. This isn't an open game where they're going to just get in behind, right? Or they shouldn't, in theory. Liverpool currently okay account returns come from Salah and Mane, so even if they don't score many, Salah will most likely get returns. And yeah, that's my point, Simon. That's my point. Like, I do think Salah can get a return. He probably will. But, I mean, if he goes out and gets another hat-trick, then that's the Premier League season this year. But historically and how they usually set up, the likes of Burnley and the likes of Sheffield United, yeah, they lose. They don't look very good in attack. But how many times... I can remember Man City thumping Burnley when they had, like, children on the bench at Project Restart last season, right? But normally the teams like Burnley and the teams like Sheffield United, even like teams like Newcastle, they don't tend to get smashed that hard. They're usually pretty decent defensively. Is it dumb that you're getting Grealish and Barkley in a wildcard? All right, so I'll just stop from the chat, guys, and I'll just show you. All right, if you're dumb for doing that on your wildcard, then I'm dumb for doing that because I got Barkley now. That is one of my transfers that I've made this week, guys. Let me show you. This is how my team is looking right now. You can see my one transfer that I've made so far. It is not updated on there, so I'm just going to have to show you on that one. But it is Barkley, guys. I did bring him in, and I don't regret a thing. Do you know what worried me, guys? When I looked at my team and I realised my midfield is 2 teams. That is it, guys. That is my midfield. I have Villa and Spurs midfield. That is it. So Ross Barkley came in for Harvey Barnes. I had compared Barkley to McGinn. I know the fixtures are fantastic. I think for 5.9 million, I think has he gone up to 6 now, Barkley? Has he gone up to 6? He has gone up to 6, so he's 5.9 for me, so I'm already getting a little bit of money there. So I'll go on to why I'm going to take a -4 in a minute, and it is something I have mentioned before. So I got Barkley in. I'm tripled up on Aston Villa. If you would have told me 2 weeks ago, not even pre-season, 2-3 weeks ago, you're going to be tripled up on Aston Villa, I'd have laughed. I'd have laughed in your face. Madness. What are you talking about, tripling up on Aston Villa? They're going to get relegated, aren't they? Well, there you go. I've got 3 of them. The run of fixtures, Barkley playing in such an attacking thing, he's going to be, when I make my next transfer, the only one I'm looking at my team thinking, oh, I'm not happy with them. So let me just catch up with the chat. Kane and Son, Salah, DCL, why do I feel like punting on Morpay? Honestly, it could be a high-scoring affair. He's got Fulham, hasn't he, this week? Fulham, Crystal Palace. The reason why I'm not going to agree with that at the minute with Morpay is similar to what I was saying about Sheffield United and Burnley not getting thrashed by many. How many times have you seen Brighton thump someone? So, I mean, it is a hell of a punt, but in a game week where you've got Son, the likes of Son and Kane in hot form, you've got Salah and Mane playing at home. If you're wrong about Morpay this week, it's gonna hurt. It is gonna hurt. Any good 4.5 to 5 million defenders need to replace Justin? I think there's loads. Loads. West Ham will come good soon enough. I still think Burnley defenders are alright. You got Lamptey. After doing business, you're benching Chilwell this week and playing Lamptey. Don't think that's a bad... I'm benching James because I can't trust him. With Kepa back in goal, it's United. Yep, there is that as well with Kepa in goal, but for me, I just can't trust James getting played. Unless you to have Grealish and Barkley. Only 2, probably Grealish. I definitely, if I had to choose between Grealish and Barkley, it would be Grealish. Now, I don't know how many of you guys watched the game. I did, like with the package that I have out here, I can watch like all the games. Unfortunately, the one game that I can't watch is the Friday Night Football. I think Villa and Leeds isn't on it, but every other game is. And I watched it, and I tell you what, if you've not seen it, guys, like Grealish was so good against Leicester. Like it was unbelievable. I can't remember the last time I was like that impressed by one player in a performance. The stats are there to back it up. For the eye test, though, he was everywhere. Everywhere you wanted him to be and more. Just catch up. And unnecessarily, the thing with Barkley, let's not forget, Aston Villa's fixtures are so good. Leeds concede, Southampton concede, Arsenal concede, Brighton always have a mistake in them, West Ham concede, Newcastle, Wolves is difficult, Burnley can concede that because season, West Brom obviously whipping boy, Palace can concede, or they're just going to sit back all game, all the way until just before the new year. So why am I not going to take a punt for 5.9 million on a guy that's almost playing as the second striker, alongside the talisman of the team? Mark, I should go Mahrez and Rodriguez, Barkley or Grealish, Rodriguez and Foden, or should I only play with Sterling, McGinn and Basuma? It depends on how you want to attack it, Simon, because my tactic this year has been spreading the money around and having like 11 good players, not like 3 mega players and the rest cheapos. So it depends how you want to play it. Sterling, McGinn and Basuma is good. I mean, no, if you play Basuma every week, I take that back. That's not good. Trent is too good. He's going to get better. Come end of the season, be top 3, probably. Yeah. And as a football fan, I am gutted about Van Dijk not being in for this season because I want to see the best players play football, right? And you don't want to see any player get injured for a whole season, especially when he's like 30 or something. Like, it's not good. It was a terrible tackle. But I don't think Pickford meant it. I just think he's clumsy, right? Your squad is similar to mine. You've got 1 2 transfer. Which one could like you create more points? I can't say that if you've got the same team as me. I think you should transfer in Joe Linton. Real me. You should. That'll get you ahead of me in the game. Defense, Sice, Robbo, Mitchell. Too much money in James and DCL. Then in from day one, so chance of no way you want to lose team value. Yeah, don't. The thing with that Denver and something, I'm accidentally getting more team value money. But I'm really not making decisions on team value. Hey, Boone, how you doing, buddy? The man who almost quashed my dreams of Gareth Bale starting against Burnley last game of the game week. I think he will play at least half an hour, and that's enough for me. You're validated now. Yay! So we're either great together or we're idiots together. You like Grealish, but Barkley not as much. And I agree. But you can't really have 11 players that you feel happy about, right? And again, Barkley, I'm not expecting him to get goals and points every single week. But having Barkley as my quote-unquote weakest player in my starting 11, it's a pretty nice weakness to have, you know. Can I name my captaincy? I will when I talk about my next transfer I'm going to make. Hey Luke, how you doing, buddy? Told you Backshow's want to watch you return last week. Very, very fortunately, Luke. Very, very fortunately. But you were correct. I saw somewhere that Barkley and Grealish expected goal involvement is rather similar, but non-pen XG Barkley's a lot better. Also, the amount of shots Barkley's had. I went on. I'm a member of the Fantasy Football Scout, and I was in the members area, and I was having a look around. And everything's pointing, and I tried to also separate the Liverpool game because it's such an anomaly. So yeah, so no Liverpool midfield, no City. That's the business cat. You've come on to my next point of the agenda, which I'll do after I catch up with this. Boone, I saw you were thinking of triple captain Kane. I'm worried for you there. Son Mope, Trossard, Webster for me on Monday Night Football. Pray for you. Booner, I'll be injecting it all day long, buddy, but a triple captaincy, I can't agree with that move. Masuaku looks like a solid option after game week 8. Completely agree, Saiton. And I can't believe that he's the wing back, but Aaron Cresswell's like the left centre back, and Cresswell's like the most, or the second most creative defender after Robertson. He's like doing ridiculous stats. West Ham fans must be absolutely loving it right now because they had the worst fixtures at the start of this season. And if you would have given them the points total they've got now, they'd have snapped your hand off. You're captain Mane over Kane this week. I like that shout. I'm going to actually need your help with my last transfer, guys, because I do have... it's about explosive differentials, and I do have some future moves I want to talk about and see what you guys think about that. If it's a bit of a punt or if it's just pure insanity. Mendy's back and will start for Chelsea. Whoever mentioned Kev. I hope that is true. Actually, I don't really care if that's true. I don't have any Chelsea defence there. Oh, I do. I've got one on my bench, James, but I don't even know who's going to play. Is it a good idea, Rashford captain, to catch up with the league rivals? No, you don't have to worry about those kind of things just yet. Who's a good replacement for Justin? His fixtures aren't great. Probably Lamptey. I can't. There's a lot of good options in that 4.5 million range, to be honest. Choose one, but don't expect a lot. If you're willing to take a punt on Barkley because he's 6 and almost a second striker, would I not take Watkins? I'll tell you why. I can't do Wood to Watkins. Bench Kilman or Seiss? I'd bench Kilman because I think Seiss is the more nailed on player. You already have Salah and Son. Nice. Subbed, great content. Thanks, Luke. I always try and speak to everyone in the chat. Am I thinking of a straight swap for Antonio for Wood and GameWeek 8? No. I'm building up suspense with my transfer, guys. Being reliant on Spurs and Villa. If they keep doing well, you could have a monster of a week. True, if Gareth Bale plays. So with Son and Salah, should I go for Foden, Rodriguez and Grealish, or Barkley? Foden, Rodriguez and Grealish. I like it. Barkley, Morris, Rodriguez / ZH. Or Sterling, McGinn, Basuma. I like Foden, Rodriguez, Grealish because that'll free up funds elsewhere, but I can't ignore Sterling, McGinn and Basuma. But if you're playing Basuma, no. If Basuma's in your team every week, I can't agree with it. Could be screwed if they flop. I didn't look at that side of the coin, Sean. Hey, Undershot, how you doing, buddy? Captain Sterling again. He's done bits before. He's doing all right this season. What we're going to do with Wood? I'll tell you. Jimenez to Aguero for a hit. Nostalgia pick. Alazar. Okay, he's got it. My transfer. I am taking a hit, guys. It's really, really simple. I said I was saving up for this. If you watched the video, I've mentioned it before. I will be post-press conferences because I'm not doing this and getting burned. It's going to be Wood out. Going to be Wood out, and it's going to be Monsieur Sergio Aguero in as my El Capitan. Yes, I think I'm going to go for Sergio Aguero in, not just in for Chris Wood for a -4, but 2.6% ownership. It was 1.6, I think, last week, wasn't it? 10.4, the cheapest it's ever been. He's a man, he's not a myth, but he is a legend, and I think I'm just going to put the captaincy on him. He's a huge differential in terms of being a player. He's a massive, he's an insane differential for being a captain, and I mentioned it last week, that this was the move I was planning to make. Exactly the move I was planning to make. So he's back. He's had 2 games under his belt. He scored, albeit a penalty, which means if Kevin De Bruyne doesn't play, he's also on penalties, but I'm not as bothered about the penalties there. I'd rather Kevin De Bruyne play and Sergio Aguero isn't on penalties than he is on penalties and De Bruyne doesn't play. A lot, I think, will go for Sterling. I think that's a great shout. I think a lot might take a punt on KDB. I think that's fine. I still think the likes of Kane and Son, and particularly Salah and Mane, I think they're fantastic shouts at captaincies. I just want to go for my explosive differentials plan. I mean, if Kevin De Bruyne is playing and Raheem Sterling is playing and Sergio Aguero is playing, and I can play this guy for 1.2 million cheaper than Raheem Sterling, I think this is it could be a big one for me. If Son and Kane go mental again, there's nothing I can do. But here's the thing with the likes of Harry Kane, right? Or is it Heung-min Son? Like the effective ownership's over 100% kind of thing, so it ends up not getting you up the ranks as much as it could. And I'm relying on Burnley to not get thumped, and I'm relying on Sheffield United to not get thumped. Like if Sheffield United get beat 2-0 and Burnley get beat 2-0, that's not too bad. But I know West Ham can concede goals, and I know West Ham can concede a lot of goals to Manchester City. So I know it's a different season. I know West Ham are looking better, but I mean Spurs went and smashed 3 goals past them last week. Why can't Man City do that? And I think this could be the game that turns Manchester City's game, their season around. And for that money, for 10.4 million, it still leaves me with just a fraction in the bank. And then what I'll do next week for my one transfer, James will go down to like a Kilman, and then I think I'll do, and then by that game week, it'll be game week, I think 8 by that point, and that's when Trent plays City. Trent might make way down to a 5.5 million, and I've got millions in the bank to upgrade anything I want. Or Werner down to Brewster, and I upgrade Alzate to Rashford, something like that. So the reason that's my idea so far. Now the other idea I could very, very simply, guys, go Gareth Bale out, Salah in, Mane in, Kevin De Bruyne in, Sterling in, anyone at all. Mo Salah, Raheem Sterling, there you go, in, and I've still got 2.1 million in the bank. But I'm still sat there with Wood, and I can't upgrade him. I just feel as though, yeah, that's the simple move I can make right now. -4, Bale out, and I can bring in anyone. But I want to go for this explosive differential idea. I want to play the game differently. And I think Bale's going to come good. Like, a lot of people were laughing because he missed an easy opportunity, but he created that easy opportunity from absolutely nothing. And I'd rather have Bale and Aguero rather than Sterling and Chris Wood. That's my opinion so far. Captaincy's son should have been Kilman, now nailed. I don't think he's nailed. Still have Havertz. Your thoughts on him and Chelsea? I'd keep hold of him if you've not got any other fires to put out. You're on your wild card at the moment. You've got James Rodriguez in 2. Would I keep him? I would keep him, probably, yes, Dylan. Or if you've not got that much money tied into him, take him out in your wild card and bring him in the future. You hold on Fusion wild card due to double Liverpool for the next 2. After that, you'll use it and Trent will be out. I'm thinking the same, Neil. He'll be out in free transfer for me, I think. And that's only because then I might go 3-5-2 and Alzate goes to like a Rashford or something like that. You could do any of these at the moment. Werner to Kane. I've been trying to get Werner out of my team for so long, and he's still here. Like, since game week 2, I've been like, oh yeah, that wasn't a good idea, I should have gone for Werner, and he's still here. He's still kicking about, but he's got a good run of fixtures, and now with the other good players coming back in the side, I'm just going to keep hold of Werner. So Werner to Kane, but Kane's got what, 3 good games left before City, Chelsea, Arsenal, Palace, Liverpool. That's not a good run. So I don't think that's bad. Davis to Watkins, Podence to Grealish, agree. Vinagre or Carl Peters to any defender, sure. Okay, that seems a bit better at the back. But do we trust the defence at the minute? That's my issue. Yeah, I've got a lot. I've been playing. My squad has been like a 95 million pound squad for the last 3 weeks. KDB to Sterling for a -4. No, Matt, because he might play. Aguero captain is a great shout, could be a huge swing in the ranks, up or down, and it doesn't matter. I'm 3.6 million. Let's go for it. Let's have some fun. Let's go for players that I'm backing. I want to back this explosive idea. Why not? Aguero captain, awesome. Hope you nail it. I hope so as well. The only thing, I've mentioned this before, guys, I don't actually like captaining strikers usually because they get fewer points for goal. They just get fewer things, right? Usually less bonus points, less points for goals. So when your captain is doubled, so Son gets a clean sheet, that's 1 point, that goes to 2 points. Son gets a goal, that's like extra 2 points, right? So that's something that puts me off. And also a thing with Aguero is he gets like 65, 70 minutes. Or he's on the bench and he comes on for the last 30. So it does worry me a little bit. But that's the risk that I'm going to take with Sergio Aguero, right? So that's the point I'm making. And also, when the fixtures start to move a little bit for Spurs, maybe I've got a placeholder, and I'm not in a rush. I know Liverpool have got a good couple of fixtures now with Sheffield United and West Ham, but then City, Leicester, Brighton, Wolves are not the biggest ones. But then game week 12, when Fulham comes along, that's when, or in maybe 3 weeks here for game week 9, that's when Bale comes out and maybe Salah or Mane, probably Mane over Salah for me if I'm going for explosive differentials. That's when I'll get a Liverpool midfielder in. Like I don't feel I need to get them in now. So that's the idea that I'm going to be doing. How many hits have I taken so far? And when are you, I've used my wildcard chains. I've taken hits. I've used wildcards. I'm having a whale of a time. Go for Fabinho, best option. Not a chance. You're also sat here with Wood, and like I'm just having fun. Like I'm not going to win it, and I don't want to play the game where it's just like I'm looking at my team thinking, oh God, I don't like it. I don't want to sit here looking at Chris Wood in my team. I'm sorry, Chris. I gave you a chance. But he was top of all these special charts and expected goal. But I knew deep down Burnley were going to struggle this year. In my Premier League predictions video, I said Burnley were going to struggle. They haven't signed players. Their marquee signing this summer has been Dale Stevens, who can't even get in the Brighton team. What was I thinking? Why did I start the season with Werner and Havertz when they're brand new to the league? When the likes of Jamie Vardy's been smashing goals for the last 4 years? What was I thinking? So I'm just going to play it my own way. And I want to be different. I don't want to have Salah captain every week and KDB captain every week. I want to try and just do something a little bit different. Yeah, I probably won't finish top 100k, but I'll. This is the hill that I'm gonna die on, guys. It's as simple as that. In all seriousness, Aguero looks very sweet, and he is. We talked about these guys last week. Like he was, what was he last week? 1.6, but even 2.6% ownership, and fraction of that's going to captain him. Everyone's going to be eyes on Son, Kane, Salah, Mane. I'm going to avert my eyes elsewhere. I still think they're fantastic captaincy options, guys, and in the future, I will very, very, very likely have Mo Salah or Sadio Mane in for probably Gareth Bale. And Werner will probably make way. That's FPL. You change all the time, right? But that's the idea that I'm going for. The only reason I haven't clicked confirm yet is because I want to wait for, the press conferences to come out. Because the last thing I need is to be like, okay, guys, let's do it now. Wood out, Aguero in, captain, yay! And then the conference comes out and Aguero's just stumped his toe and he's out for 4 weeks, right? Also, the idea is it's spreading my money around. It'll give me a very expensive strike force. But then, again, in the future, I'll have DCL, Werner, and Aguero up front, which is a banging strike force. But then, okay, Aguero doesn't work out. He goes down to a cheap midfielder. Alzati goes up all the way to and then Bale goes down a little bit. Alzati goes and it becomes Salah. You know what I mean? Like, I've already worked it out when I've taken money out of James, money out of Trent, and then I can easily pump up the money for elsewhere. I've done it all already, guys. So if I just do Wood now to Aguero, and I do Trent to, let me just choose any 4-point-ish move. I've got 2.9 million here. There you go. Boom. Obviously Garcia -3, so 12. So in 2 moves I can get to Mo Salah. Defenders. Let's just say Vestergaard. Let's get him in. There you go. Midfielder, Mo Salah, sorted. In 2 moves, I can get to Mo Salah. Doesn't bother me. And then I'd have this as my team. Not really Vestergaard. He's just a placeholder, man. I have no plans to get in Mr. Vestergaard. Okay. But my point is, this is why I wanted to spread the money around. I didn't want 3 massive premiums where all my money's tied up in one place. It's spread around, so if Aguero goes out, I can spread the money anywhere. Or if Son goes out, I can spread it in the midfield. I can keep it in those areas as well. So that was my plan. Pulisic out, Grealish in, or Werner out, Aguero in. Maybe both for a -4. Grealish in could be a good shout. We know that they've got great fixtures. I can't suggest Werner going out for a hit. They've got really good fixtures. Even against United, they can score goals. But then what is it? Newcastle. Who have they got? Burnley, Sheffield, Newcastle. So basically, Burnley and Sheffield United are playing Chelsea, City, and Liverpool in the next 3. So again, I don't think they'll get thumped, but I could see Timo Werner getting some kind of return there. And 9.3 million is a nice price if he's going to play down the middle. And Pulisic is back, and Ziyech is back, and Havertz is finding his feet, and Mount gets played again. So, and but again, Luke, the way that you should do it is the way that I'm playing is: should you take hits? No, not really. You shouldn't probably. Like Wood could get a goal against Spurs, and I'll take him out for a hit, so then I'll look stupid. But I just want to have the team that I believe in, right? The one that when I open my app. In the morning and have a look and I think, yeah, any one of these players I believe in. Any one of these players I think you can do a good job for me today. Like that's what I want. Podence keep for Z next game week or get Grealish for a hit. I've been taking hits galore, so I'm biased here. You think if you didn't wildcard yet you could be better off, which really hurts. Wildcard remorse, Sean. That happens, buddy. But remember that if you could go back and check what your team would have had, like I used to have James Rodriguez, I used to have Alex Saint-Maximin, but you look at the players that he brought in and look at it for the long term. Yes, that is right. This time FPL expensive on midfielder forward. They're all expensive. I want them all. Yeah, everyone said it's not a sexy pick, but it's the right pick. Oh, how I regret picking Wood. He was what's his name? The guy who's like the best FPL manager ever. It's like someone Borges or something like that, right? And they use this guy's thing on Patreon where he suggests like the best possible thing using XG and bookies odds and blah 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 blah. And Chris Wood was like top of the charts. He was like he will be the best points per million player in the Premier League over the next like 5 game weeks, and he's done nothing, which just goes to show, guys, it's played on the pitch, not on paper. What are your thoughts on Palace defenders? They're okay, James, but God, and I mentioned this from game 1 when I saw him against Southampton. I could not be a Crystal Palace fan. I'm happier being a Bolton Wanderers fan. We almost went bust. We play in League 2. We're near the bottom of League 2. I'd rather still watch that than Crystal Palace week in, week out. Did you actually minus points? Yes? Huh? What do you mean? Last week I took a -8. And this week I will be taking a -4 because Barkley out. Barkley in for Barnes. And Aguero will come in for Wood. Maybe you'll stick with KDB. Hope he starts. It will be massively frustrating, Matt, because that'll be like 2 weeks, 2 games where you've got like 11.5 million sat on your bench. How many overall points do I have so far? That is an excellent question. 242. 242. Bear in mind, I've not owned Salah so far this season. Have I had Raheem Sterling so far this season? And I didn't have Son and Kane for the massive one. I said this last week, guys. We're still catching up to the people. And think about the people who have not had Son and Kane at all this season. At least I had Son last week. Like, all these people are still catching up to these ridiculous hauls that some of these players have been getting. The Salah hat-tricks, the Son 4 goals, the Kane 4 goal, whatever, this and that. Like, we're still catching up to those people. You like the look of Cancelo. I said this last season, I wanted him in, Cancelo. His dribbling is wonderful, the Man City fullback, but not nailed. Wood to Aguero at the very least is a massive upgrade if he doesn't bang. Yep, that's what I think, Matt. Like, if I look at my front 3 and I'm going Calvert-Lewin, Timo Werner, Sergio Aguero. That's a sexy front line. I have to think of an acronym for it. What would it be? Whack. It'd be whack, guys. It would be absolutely... It could be core. It could be core whack. See, Aguero's good because it's an A, so I just put it in the middle and I can spell something. But yeah, that is whack, man. A whack front line. Target or Dallas, leaning towards Target due to fixtures. Agree. Why do I keep faith on double Liverpool fullbacks? They are top at creating chances, etc. But it is a word double, especially with Virgil van Dijk missing. So less chances for clean sheets. Because I don't, Alexander, I don't just trust him for clean sheets. Robertson is a left winger. Trent has been disappointing. I'm not gonna deny that. But I mean, let's look at. Isn't Robertson one of the top defenders right now? It feels like he is. He's not in the top 5 though. Okay, 25 points. He's 6 points off the top. So Robertson going nowhere. I think he's been absolutely phenomenal, and he looks really good as well. Trent has looked massively disappointing, and I've said, give me a couple of weeks and I'll take him out. So I'm not in a rush to do it. So it's not keeping faith because I think double Liverpool defence is the world's greatest thing. It's just I'm not taking hits out to get out Trent. He's got Sheffield United at home next. Like, come on. And he's still... He'll just get a ridiculous 40-point haul one week because that's just what he does. He's still a class player. And again, I look at this and I think, okay, Robertson is 7 and Trent is 7.5. Around that category in terms of midfielders, I've already got Jack Grealish. Who else do I want around for under 7.5 million in midfield that I don't already have? And I look at the list. Grealish I've already got. Don't want Zaha, don't want Jorginho, don't want Bowen, don't want McGinn, don't want Fornals, don't want Townsend, Costa, Glitch, Trossard. Barnes I just got rid of. Don't want Henry, don't want Pereira, don't want March, don't want... I look at this midfield, the list of midfielders, for cheaper or the same price as Trent and Robbo. I don't want any of them. So that's why I'd rather have... that's why I'd rather have them. You want to know whom I will captain? Sergio Aguero. That's who I will captain. Spend the cash is a great COVID survival tactic, but I do panic when I don't do it for... I've got no COVID survival backup plans. Like if COVID-19 hits teams, that's it. For me, it's like a null and void FPL season because, like, imagine if Spurs get hit now, everyone's on -8s or whatever. Like, it's just there's bigger issues. Like, if COVID-19 hits really badly again, there's bigger issues than what to do with my FPL team. Kane or Salah triple captain. Well, FPL Booner's triple captain in Kane. Personally, I wouldn't triple captain any of them. I'd save it for a double game week. Partey, as in the Arsenal central defending midfielder, not for me. 5.5 million defenders or 4.5 million defenders and money up top. Depends where that money up top's going to go. Like, a million difference up top, yeah, that's like a Werner to an Aguero. But there are no real... I mean, like a 6.5 million Wilson could go to a... Who? Giroud. Like, 1 million up top doesn't get you a lot. In midfield and in defence, it does. If Wood had a good fixture and Aguero had a tough one, it'd be risky because Wood could easily score. But you don't think you have to worry about Wood scoring. It probably will score now. But, again, and it's a mantra that we've had for the last couple of seasons, guys, don't get angry at the result, get angry at the decision. If you ask any person on the street, who do you want as your striker, Sergio Aguero or Chris Wood, 9 out of 10 will say, well, yeah, I think Aguero is more likely to score, right? So, that's it. Vardy, Barnes and Jimenez out for Kane, Pulisic and Morbeck. For -8, Vardy's a maybe and Barnes is in, that's against Arsenal, and Jimenez has got Newcastle. Harry Kane is fantastic. Pulisic, don't know if he's quite ready. Morpay is good. But for a -8, like, we've talked about this earlier, Spurs have got like another good 3 game weeks before it gets quite tough. You're taking a -8 for someone that you might be taking out of your team in 3 weeks. Pulisic you could keep. Morpay, yeah, they've got West Brom this week. Then they've got Spurs, Burnley, Villa, Liverpool, Southampton, Leicester. It's a mixed bag. And I personally have never rated Morpay. Is it good to keep Bamford? No. You took Vardy out for Kane, but want Vardy when he's fit. I think that's fine. Yeah, you can always have Jamie Vardy. He always finds a way to score goals. You know, we go to the XG parade. These are people all piling on Morpay currently. Probably not going to play. And they say with Podence, right? I'm trying to be more stat-based, Business Cat. I'm trying to be less emotional. But then, like I said, I'm sat here with Gareth Bale and getting Sergio Aguero on my side. So that's going out the window. I just can't help myself, guys. Like, I can think about it when it's not my team, and I can give suggestions, and I can play the rule by the book. Fan team, I'm like 100 in the world on fan team because I follow the rules. I'm like, right, this will be the game where I follow everything by the rules. I was 13th a couple of weeks ago. I think I'm like 112 in the world on it right now, on the fan team FPL, because I'm just playing by the rules and how I should play. I can't do with FPL. It's like, it's ridiculous. I can't control myself, guys. I have to like lock my account or something. But then that's the fun of it, right? Remember, at the end of the day, it's a fun game. If I'm sat here and I'm telling you the same players and the same thing as every other content creator is, like, you guys aren't stupid. You know Mo Salah is a good player and a good captaincy option. You know Son and Kane are in good form right now. You don't need me here to tell you that. We're here to discuss other ways to do it and find other differentials and players like that and talk about our game weeks and teams. If I played FPL purely how I should play it, I wouldn't have half as much fun as I do. When I'm watching the games, and I'm there and I'm looking at probably Harvey Barnes getting a brace against Arsenal and I've taken him out and got Barkley in, and I'm kicking myself over it. That's what I want. I don't want to sit there and just be bored doing it. I like that. You take the highs and you take the lows, right? I mean, what did I get? 22 points, was it? Like 2 weeks ago? Yeah, international break, I went in with 22 points. 22 points. My entire defense was a -1. You know, like, it's just fun. Just have some fun. If you were a Palace fan, you'd been a con watching week in, week out. I did genuinely call it in game week 1 when I said, like, oh, it was bad. It was something like after 30 minutes, Southampton had, like, triple the amount of passes and like triple the amount of possession. It was awful. It was awful. Morpay has pens as well. Pens are calming down a bit now since that handball nonsense has stopped. Last week you got 26 points. Talk about a big oof. Well, I got 22 Arch. So beat that bad boy. Barkley for James. You have Grealish. Join me, Antonis Papadopoulos. Join me. I'm on the Villa triple up. Jesus Christ. The Aston Villa triple up. Could you imagine saying that like last season? Yeah, I'm tripled up on Villa, lads. Gonna win FPL. The three Lions, Kane, DCL and Ings, I keep and forget up front. I think that's a fantastic front line. One more question. No need to apologise, Dylan. You need to play Target or Kilman to cover Hammer's injury. Who would I play out of those two? I'd probably go for Target because he's an attacking fullback, right? So yeah, true. Kilman could get a clean sheet against Newcastle, but I like playing defenders who are wing backs. So that's my answer to that. Liverpool 5, Sheffield United 0. Salah captain, but Robinson could score as many. Yeah, we're talking about Stephen. We don't believe that here. We don't believe it. Sheffield United's not going to get thumped. What would you do with Rodriguez? Not sure what to do. Bench him. If you've got a decent defender like Taylor of Burnley or Kyle Walker-Peters or, you know, the other 4.5 million brigade, just playing for a week. Doesn't sound like it's going to be out long. And remember, after Southampton away, Everton still have Newcastle, United, Fulham, Leeds and Burnley in the next 5. Games where James Rodriguez could certainly score some points. There's a big risk in... There's no risk in holding on to Trent for bigger longer. He could easily bang. Yeah, and that's another reason, Sean. That's a really, really good point, that actually, Sean. The fact that if I don't get Aguero now, and I captain him maybe for 2 weeks against Sheffield and West Ham in these next... Well, West Ham then Sheffield... and I'm stuck with Wood, I want to get him out of my team. Trent Alexander-Arnold isn't stinking up my team. And if I take Trent out and I'm sat here with like another 2.5 million in the bank, I'm not in a rush to spend it anywhere because I'm happy with everyone else. So I'm fine to slowly take out Trent and Reece James and invest the money when Liverpool play against City and then Spurs, the fixtures change. Keeman Rodriguez on the bench. Good. And you're already on -8? Nice, I did that last week. Bowen's decent. Benrahma could be. Yep, both decent options. But Liverpool City, I'm going to wait for that. DCL to Aguero, no, I would still stick with DCL. I mean, I'm bringing in Aguero, I know, but I'm bringing in for Chris Wood. Like, DCL has yet to blank. Now, I know I've probably cursed us all by saying that, but nevertheless, the thing that is going to be with Dominic Calvert-Lewin is when to get off him. If we're going to get off him, that's going to be the key. But if you look at the heat maps and what Ancelotti's done for him, turned into like a new mini Inzaghi, he just sits inside the box now. And that you cannot want anything more from your striker than goal hanging. that is what you want, right? You just want your striker to goal hang. Hey, good luck, James. Thanks for coming in. Changed my channel to Reckless Rob FPL. Sounds like a cartoon character, that. Living in Clocken Island, we're back in Longdown. Yeah, I heard about that. My parents are in Lancashire, so that's it. King James, I'll transfer, and if so, for who? Keep James. Keep him. Rodriguez is injured, guys. Start Mitchell or Castagna. I'd start Castagna because he's really attacking. You like the approach? You're complete opposite of Will from Fantasy Football Hub. That guy is like a talking stats mannequin, zero charisma. But the thing has been that, like, I wanted to be that this year. I wanted to be like, well, I can't have Grealish in because he only ran 4.6 yards. Do you know what I mean? Like, even when I looked at James Rodriguez, when he got like man of the match and he made 0 sprints, I was like, well, that means his work ethic is down. He clearly has had a bad diet over the last 2 weeks. Like, I wanted to be that guy that was just like, I could ping off a stat. Like, I look at the stats and I compare things like, you know, touches in the box, shots in the box, XG and all that lot, and average positioning on the pitch and things like that. I do look at that, and that obviously comes into... I haven't just gone, Sergio Aguero, Gareth Bale. Like, I have sat for all week before I make my decisions, right? But I just can't do it. I love the game. I love football, and I love Fantasy Premier League, that I can't just make stats. Like, if you tell me, again, Wood, shouldn't get rid of Wood because there's a 62% chance he'll return in the next 2 weeks, blah, blah, blah. I just don't want him in my team. It's as simple as that. Go for Aurier, maybe. No, he rotates. Who's on my bench? I've got Reece James, Mr. Taylor, and Alzati. Now, this was a real smart-ass move, guys. I was like, 4.5 million. Everyone goes Basuma. I thought, look, he's got 78 minutes, 90 minutes. He plays all the time, and his heat map was way ahead of Basuma. I think he's been dropped now, guys. So my 4.5 million midfielder is a possible future transfer round, which is fantastic. Yeah, don't bench Rodriguez. Don't sell Rodriguez. Bench him. You're going to sell Salah and buy Mane and sell Werner and buy Aguero. Okay, is it right? Ooh. Sell Salah before a home game against Sheffield United? Jeez, and people are calling me Reckless Rob. That would be madness. No, I can't. I cannot say sell Salah and Werner to Mane and Kane or Aguero. Oh, there's been a hoax. I didn't even know. Oh, Steven. Steven. You think the COVID-19 is a hoax? Try saying that to my father and my auntie and my cousins. Happy to tell you otherwise, mate. Just against Arsenal or sells against Wolves? Let's go for Lascelles, because Wolves have been a bit toothless recently. Keep James, but what if the best bench player is Mitchell? Panic stations. Mitchell might have one more game in him, but yeah. It's a bad transfer to make if you're having to do sub or defender transfers. Should you sell Barnes for Mount or Foden this week? For a hit, no. For a free transfer, yes. Why Mount? I don't know why Mount. I think I can see his game time getting more limited. I think you go fully on stats to say you get it right a fair amount a bit. but so it'll make up for the flood like more pay and wood. True. Playing on the eye test is more fun in your opinion, but maybe it's not as effective. Same as me, Matt. Remember, not everything works out that way, and it's not played on it. Kane or Aguero? I'm going to say Aguero, but that's because I'm going Aguero. Yeah, agreed. You only look at stats when you're 50-50. Yeah, I look at stats anyway. Like, I look at the eye test, and then I have stats to back it up. Don't think Alzate has been completely dropped. There will boost some rotation with Lallana. Oh, I hope so. I hope so, Slighton. Zaha or Podence sub. You have to sub one of them? Really? Well, Zaha's got Fulham, so... But Podence has got Newcastle. What the hell's your team? If you're having to... Wait, why are you having to bench Zaha or Podence? What are your predictions for the Liverpool and Spurs games? Ziyech is going to take free kicks and goals. Oh, okay. Hold on. Alright, just a quick one. Steven, 100%. Like, this is our community, and at the end of the day, it's my channel. It isn't political. I don't like moderating the chat and stuff like that. You can always say what you guys think and believe, and we chat about football, that's great. But there is no way that I'm having a virus hoax person in the chat. It's as simple as that. So it's either, Steven, you stick to fantasy football stuff, or you find another stream mate, because the virus isn't a hoax, and it's stupid things like that that makes this whole thing worse and puts things in lockdown. That's the only thing I'm going to say about it. So it's either stick to, like, I know the people in my community and I know the names that have been here a long time. Sean is one of them. So if he's saying that he's lost family members, I'm really sorry about that, Sean. My family has also had this problem. You can say it's a cold, you can say whatever you like, but it's not being political when you're actually talking about that. So if you want to stick to fantasy football, you're more than welcome. And if that's your opinion, that's your opinion. But then you take that opinion elsewhere, because it's our community and I get to kind of say to, and everyone will agree, right? So if people agree with that and you think it's a hoax and you don't like it, then everyone is welcome. Everyone's always welcome in the community, because I love this community. This is why I do this on a Friday and make videos every week. But if you want to believe that and you want to do that, then yeah, that's just leave and go somewhere else, right? But if you want to stick to fantasy football and stuff like that, more than welcome to. But I'm just not having things like that in the chat. Simple as that. All right, so yeah, Timothy, thanks for coming in, saying Rodriguez is hurt. We did mention that, but I always appreciate when people come in. Even if we know the news, it is good to repeat it. Ziyech is going to be taking free kicks and corners. I don't know, Phantom, I'm going to have to wait and see about that. You've got 3 Wolvesville, Kilman, Sykes, and Semedo, Chilwell and Justin. Really? There's some of them that you wouldn't play instead of... I'd drop Justin over Zaha. In my opinion, anyway. Abdullah, Salah, Son, Grealish. Zaha, bonus performance, Werner. I don't want to. Salah, Son, Grealish. Werner, DCL, Kane. That is a great midfield. I can't... I have to say go for Zaha, and that's because he's definitely going to play like 90 minutes and is against Fulham. Yeah, Abdullah, who's your defence? Have you got like Mitchell, Kilman, like, and a bunch of 4.5 millions? Because I'm thinking that's what I'm going to do. Grealish and Aguero or Watkins and Sterling. Grealish and Aguero, join me. This is what will be. Salah triple captain. We talked about this earlier. I don't think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be a. don't think it's going to be a smash-in. Hit wildcard, need to replace Rodriguez. Midfield 4, Barkley, Basuma, Son and Salah. Strike. Okay, DCL, Kane and Jimenez, great strike force, no problems there. Basuma, I hope he's going to be on your bench. I don't think you need to replace How much money, Jack, have you got in Rodriguez? Because I know we don't like to play the value game, but I would probably get rid of... like, if you take him out and then bring him back in the future, but I genuinely just think it's going to be one. Thoughts on how to... So, Jack, yeah, I would just probably bench him for a week. Drop DCL this game week against Southampton. Not my recommendation. If I was on a wild card, would I say J-Rot as save a transfer and try a week later? If I only had like 0.1, 0.2 in James Rodriguez, I would probably not have him on my wild card and bring him back next week. But always remember, guys, that there could be a problem, right? There could be a situation where, okay, I'll bring in him next week, and then boom, you've got a red card. Bang, you got an injury. So that's always a problem. That Cavani against Chelsea, not a chance. No. You triple captain Son last week. Nice. Just that's not actually. What was it? Just a goal and assist. So it's not the worst. If you get anything from your triple captain, good, because most people just never get anything from the triple captain, right? Basuma on the bench, Rodriguez 8 million. Oh, if you bought Rodriguez for 8 million and you're not losing anything, then yeah, I would not have him. I would take him out. I know it's 8 million now, but it depends how much you paid for him, right? Rodriguez replaces, bench him. Or Jack Grealish. Or drop further down to like McGinn and save the money. Or sell another player and upgrade Rodriguez to Rashford. No, James and Nora Charlson. Where is DCL getting the service from? Gylfi Sigurdsson, Luke. Who else? McCarthy, Trent, Sice, Justin Taylor, Foden's son. Kane, DCL. Who is? I feel like taking out Justin for Lamptey and Podence for Grealish for -8. Okay, Lamptey is better than Justin. Grealish is better than Podence. But is it -8 better? Podence has got Newcastle. I just can't. I can't. My -8 was like I brought in like Gareth Bale and Heung-min Son and someone else. Oh, and Grealish. So I made big moves for -8. That just feels a little bit like Barnes and Ings to Son and Watkins for a -4. Barnes and Ings to Son and Watkins. Yes. Double up Wolves defence, Kilman and Sice or Bamford. I doubled. No, Bamford and Sice and bench Kilman. I tried to be smart like that before and play the striker instead of the defender. No, I played the defender instead of the striker. Didn't pay off. Did not pay off. If you had Rodriguez for a while, have some value, I wouldn't sell him. I wouldn't. I'd bench him for a week. And I'd just hope Reece James would have played against them. Which 3 defenders to play? James, no, he's on my bench because I don't trust him to play, so he's already out. Dean, oh God. James, I don't mean to be impolite, but that is not a very good defence. Alright, Luca Dean plays, so that's 1. Justin's got Arsenal. Mitchell might not even play. Lamptey's got West Brom, so you got 2 there. I don't know if James is going to play against United. That's difficult. Take the risk on James, I guess. Or the risk on Mitchell. It's got to be Luca Dean and Lamptey, though. 13 gave you 39. Yes. Son did. Is it better saving your free transfer than getting an Aston Villa defender who playing Leeds or good offensively? I have Trent Lascelles. Yeah, the thing is, Ali, I just massively prefer using my transfers for attacking things where I'm going to attack a game week. If you're taking out like a defender, it just doesn't feel like, for a hit especially, it doesn't feel like I'm getting it. Like if I'm making a hit and I'm gonna like I'm gonna do with Aguero, right? I don't have to look at the fixtures this way. I've got my nice little fixture thing somewhere here. There we go. If I'm looking to really hit a game week, I want to bring in a big guy and I want to captain them. You know what I mean? That's why I wasn't really for the Podence Grealish Lamperty hit move, because it's like, realistically, how many points, how easy is it going to be to make that -8? That's why I'm not for those kind of moves at the back. Keep DCL. Do it. Oh yeah, I had Ferguson in one of my really early ones. The Palace fullback, right? He's going to be the next right back. And what, this had Nathaniel Klein as well, so he's like third choice. Yeah, Luka Jr.'s got to play every game. Bench Wilson or Kilman? Kilman. Hold on to Rodriguez, midfielders. Yeah, hold on to it. I would. Reckon Jimenez, Ancelotti could be a Mourinho Sun case. No, I think Ancelotti's just it's straight. It's just a 6.4 million midfielder getting rid of Matthew. Come for Barkley. Ross Barkley. Join us. Is Phil Foden? No, Phil Foden went up, not down, so can't be that. Werner out for Aguero? No. But I'm getting Aguero in myself, but that's for Chris Wood. Sold Werner for Kane. Kept Jimenez. Ah, man. Welcome back, buddy. Not bad. Kept Jimenez over Werner. Interesting. Thoughts on Mitchell against Fulham? If he plays, wonderful. He might not, though. Swap James to Zuma if you want a Chelsea. I don't want. Luke, I know you're a Chelsea fan, buddy. I ain't going near Zuma. Not a chance. Reece James has come in for the last few weeks. Yeah, same. I had Taylor on my bench, who got a clean sheet for Burnley. Vardy for Aguero for a hit. Interesting, that one, because if Vardy's ruled out, yes, and I'm just backing Aguero. Nice grab with the fixtures. Cheers, mate. This is animated from. I didn't put it in my video this week. I don't have it. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up here for today, guys, because I need to catch up with the press conferences. It's like 8:20 here. Please have a look at the video if you haven't this week. I don't know why. Numbers were way down on my video this week. But I'll still be doing my streams same time next week, starting around 12 p.m. UK time or 7 p.m. my time. Hope everyone has a good game week. Friday night football, so don't forget, guys, the deadline is like today, not tomorrow. For me, all right, let's be pedantic. For me, it's technically 1:30 a.m., right? But yeah, don't miss the deadline, guys. All right, that is the one thing to take from today. All right, don't do it. I'm gonna just catch up with the rest of the chat. What we say? It's my front line is Salas and Sterling, Foden and Havertz. Like it, Jay. Yeah, back line doesn't matter, but that front line is on fire. This season is no time for clean sheets. Thoughts on the Newcastle Wolves game? Tight, 1-0 Wolves, or 1-1, 2-1 Wolves. I don't think it's gonna be free scoring, but it's mad. Barkley McGinn. I went for Barkley over McGinn, so I would obviously say Barkley. Who should I have in midfield for 11.2 million? If you've not got Son, 11.2 million is not a good price. Marcus Rashford, why not have a punt on him? When to bring Aguero? I'm bringing him Aguero later on. And news on Vardy, later on it will. Good luck, Neil. Thanks a lot, Mahmood. Hi, Sean. Thanks again, buddy. Thanks for coming in. Cheers, Luke. Hope Chelsea do well, I guess, because I've got Timo Werner still. Aguero down to 50% scoring, higher than Kane for Aguero. He's definitely my captain then. Cheers, everyone. Good luck. Great stream. Follow me on Twitter at Rob. WD90. Yep, that's what it is. Think always back the bookies odds, guys. That's another tip for the day, because bookies know best. So hope you all have a good game week, guys, and as always, have a good one. See you on the video next week, and I'll see you on the stream as well. Take it easy, guys. Bye bye.